Hello Aries and welcome to your Astroflower reading. We're getting closer and closer to your birthday season, and within this magical March there's loads going on. We did a monthly reading on this, and we did also your individual reading on this. Loads going on in the astras, as it were, and here on the Astroflower we've been seeing it in the chakras and the auras of other signs, and also in the tarots, really, to be honest. So let's get in here. We're going to be looking at your chakras, auras, and we're going to be finishing off with the tarot reading for you. So without further ado, let's just get straight on into your chakras. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so this is like, okay, so we're just before your birthday, so we're in the root chakra here. Just trying to see what's going on there, because there's quite a bit going on, actually. You've got a top section that seems to be feeding the upper echelons of your, or the upper chakras, as it were, or the upper chakras are feeding your root chakra in the way of foundations or stuff like that. Yeah, let's just see which way it is going. Yeah, it's mainly, I think it's mainly going from the root to the other chakras, really, but it goes to and fro, as it were. And then as we go down, it becomes very formed, very shaped, very tight. And there is, at the bottom, it's as if the chakra's closing around something, like an understanding in a way. So you might well find that this week you're going through a sort of understanding of your own life, in regards to how you position yourself, what your foundations are in your life. Could be regarding your job, your business, your relationships, your personal sort of pleasures in life and stuff like that. So yeah, it's got it's not quite there. I've seen it on other signs where it's completely closed up, but here it seems like it's in this movement. It's as if there's this fundamental understanding that's coming through you at the moment. And obviously we're looking at the last 3 months, the last month before your birthday, so we're in your autumn period. And you might get a lot of reflections about last year, about emotionally what happened last year, and what sort of emotions and sort of experiences you want to have. And it could be a spiritual experience, could be going off on a drumming weekend, or sort of going hiking somewhere particularly spiritual, or going on a what's call it, like a pilgrim route and stuff like that. That sort of thing could be going through you at the moment, and as it does, it's sort of like it's making this understanding that's coming along with it. Let's just see what's going on your sacrum. Okay, so that's a go-between as well. It's starting to inflate, because I've seen a lot of signs that have got inflated sacrums and inflated third eye and throat chakra, but here it's starting to get it. It's starting to inflate. It's not completely right up there, but it's certainly brewing, sorry, brewing sort of desires for next year, getting them into place. And I think this is why the foundations, or your root chakra, is feeding the other chakras at the moment, simply because it's sort of trying to help you to realize, if you want to do certain things, how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and everything like that. Once you pass your birthday, that's the moment to pick up the telephone and then start reserving things and really start putting it into the physical world. At the moment, it should be just making it all very clear for you. It's not the moment to start the business. It's the moment to prepare for it starting. Okay? So yeah, and it's very, your sacrum is very balanced as well. There's a good harmony between the two. Let's see what's going on in your solar plexus. Well, that's short. It's thick but short. That's the thing. You can have a reduced solar plexus, but that doesn't mean there's less energy in it. It usually just gets a lot wider. It's like there's if you imagine there's 2 gallons, 3 gallons, and whatever shape you put in it, it's still going to be 2 gallons. Do you know what I mean? So the chakra there has got so much potential within it, It's waiting for the ignition of moving on. I saw this as well in Capricorn, to be honest. It was waiting for the, not quite as full as this, let's be honest. But there's a lot of potential here. Let's see what's going on in your heart chakra, because that's actually really quite nicely shaped. Actually, it's large, very welcoming, friendly, warm. So you can have warm relationships with other people, you know, be willing to listen and hear their side of the story. You know, discover, you know, communicate with people in order to find the solutions to the situation. Let's just see what's going on in your heart chakra. Well, there's three things. You've got a lot going on in your heart chakra at the moment. So there's a lot of socializing going on, as far as I can see. A lot of connecting with people around you, but nothing, you know, it's nothing spectacular. But it's maintaining. It's saying hi to your neighbours, having a cup of tea with your neighbour, or having a cup of tea with a member of family. You know, just maintaining or nurturing those sort of connections. But in the middle of the heart chakra, you have this thing that's happening to everyone, and I'm going to be doing something on Sunday night about the changing forms of the chakras of the human being according to pole shift, and how the energy is completely changing around us, which is going to change totally the way our chakra system works. So you've got this heart chakra there that's coming to a point up here, and it gives us a sort of focal point or direction for our heart's desires. The other thing you have in it, which I haven't seen on anybody else's yet, is a petal that comes out that's according to love. So it's love sort of on a two, as a couple, as a, you know, a sort of one-to-one relationship sort of scenario. And it may be a case that you're looking for that. It may be a case as well that you're looking for maybe your partner to follow you in your heart's desires. Or it may be a case is that you're sort of like, you know, you're building bridges again with your partner, opening new doors, new avenues of sort of the relationship. But it seems to be connected to your heart's desires as well at the same time. So I just want to pick a couple of cards on that, and then we'll see how that comes out in the tarots afterwards. But let's just see what's going on with that heart. Yeah, there's a lot of messages. I think you're understanding a lot about yourself, basically, this week, Aries. You're understanding what you want, and these messages are coming through your heart as you step from one portal to another. This is that changing year that's coming up, and letting go of the bad stuff. I think this is what it is realizing maybe, you know, because no one's perfect, and we're all working on ourselves. Let's get that clear, right? So, and we don't stop working on ourselves. That is the beauty of life. As these messages are coming in, they're giving you a direction to your heart and to your heart chakra. And this could be to do with activities, but it's also to do with, you know, relationships, everything that you might think that would happen to be connected to the heart. So you've got this main messages that are coming through at the moment. And I think that's understanding for you in regards to your relationship, your one-to-one relationship, but also how you sort of go after your heart's desires in your life. Yeah. And then you've got this portal aside, and I think that's on the relationship side more than anything else. And it's just saying goodbye to old ways of being that might have just been, you know, when sometimes we can get caught in a rut and we can be a bit cranky and stuff like that. And, you know, so it may be just getting rid of those sort of old ways of doing things within you, in yourself, and start saying, sorry, I'm going to go forward with the pure love in ourselves. Let's just see what's going on in your third eye and your throat chakra. Okay, someone's obviously taking the dogs out. Okay, so you've got the third eye, which is slightly in front of the throat chakra. It's the same sort of thing as the sacrum, really. It's nicely inflated, but not overly inflated. It hasn't sort of like ballooned. like I've seen with other chakras in other signs. But this is this coming forward, coming together, understanding these messages that are coming through your hearts and driving you towards your heart's desires. It's also perfectly set for this new logic that I'm talking about in March, which is makes March that magical March. And it seems like you're set to sort of like understand and be clear with your communications and clear with your thoughts going forward. Let's just see what's going on with your crown chakra. There's a little shape to it. It's not massive. It's pretty straight. So there's the thinking that you have in at the moment that's maybe running around your head is that wanting to get things done and wanting to be done orderly. Basically, that's what it seems to be like. It seems to be an ordinance within your consciousness, and so it's giving structure. And I think that plays into that autumn period that you're going through at the moment. So looking for what you want to be doing next year and putting a bit of structure and order into all of those sort of things. So it's looking really nice actually for you, Aries. Huge amounts of potential there, especially with that heart as it is and that solar plexus behind it. Let's just see what's going on with your aura. I think there's a lot of messages coming in for you this week. A lot of message. Hello, this is Universe. Is Universe calling Aries? Universe calling Aries. This is Universal Central. There's loads of messages. I don't think they're massive messages either, but the accumulation of the volume of messages or understandings that's coming through is going to make for something really big. I always say to to my clients that I see for the healing, you should never really ask why. The problem with why is the answer is so long and usually so complicated that it's actually difficult to channel the answer. If you want to understand why, you've got to ask lots of little questions that illuminate gradually the why, and then you put the pieces together. That's a lot easier to understand rather than just sort of looking up at the heavens and saying, why is this happening? We'll do it, yeah, sure. And it's it's very difficult to have the full answer. So I think this week you've got lots and lots of answers to questions, little questions, and if you're asking little questions, you're going to get a lot of response. Let's just see what's going on at the top of there. This is what I've been calling it protection, but it's almost as if, like, the moment you start off down your path, it's like the universe sort of recognizes the work instantaneously that you're doing. So there's no longer this karma credit sort of situation. It's protection as you go. If you stop going down your path, then you're no longer protected. That's what it seems to work like. There's nothing untoward on your aura either. Let me just see what the direction of the flow is. Well, that's feeding down. Okay, so there's a connection between foundation and crown. The crown and the root chakra are the same chakra. So one is in front, the other one's the behind. It depends on how you look at it. It doesn't matter which one you look at. One's always in front of the other, depending on which way you're going. But we have like this double torus, and the energy's feeding up from that section there and feeding down from this section there. It's absolutely beautiful. It's in a very harmonious place. And I should imagine you're in a very harmonious place at the moment, Aries. This is really nice. This is a beautiful position to start from for your coming new year. Let's just have a look at what's going on your tarot reading. This is the overall energy. These are the karmic messages for the relationship side and for the material side. This is how the universe guides this karmic message. This is the guides, your guides, how they influence your karmic message. This is the guides, how they influence your conversation in you. And this is the overall outcome. So let's just see what's going on for you here at the moment. Strength card. That is pretty much you. You are the lion or the lamb, or the ram, as it were. And you have that sort of strength within you to keep going, you know, keep calm and carry on sort of scenario. You know, that's the way you are, and that's the way you roll, and it's playing into your strengths. The strength card is playing into your strength. I've never got any, when I'm looking through your chakras and everything like that, I've never got any doubts within you. So this card can sometimes mean sort of, you know, putting down your doubts, knocking your doubts out the way. You know, but I don't think it's that. I think it's staying true to you more than anything else. Exploring that sort of heart sort of thing. Yes. Going into the new cycle, and this is what you've got to understand. On your side, the karmic message is about going into that new cycle. And that's what the world is. And that means the world has everything that you could possibly need in this new cycle. All the resources that you need emotionally for this coming year. So I would really push the boat out if I was you. Yeah, because the universe is bringing you up to speed. They're bringing you up with a lot of rhythm here. A lot of energy with that Knight of Wands. That's usually sort of what's happening in the background that's coming up through you. It's before it gets to sort of here. And this ties up beautifully within your birthday season. So it's probably another week or 10 days away, which is when your birthday season starts. And the universe here is sort of saying, you know, gradually bring yourself up to speed. And I think this is with these little messages, you're going to do that. You're going to really bring yourself up to speed. Your guides are saying the opposite here. They're sort of saying, calm down, relax. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So the universe is sort of almost feels like she's laughing at us. The universe sort of saying, yeah, you may well be getting there, but don't forget, this is the rhythm and you got to stick to it. And this is the thing about temperance. I talk about temperance as being the rhythm card, simply because everyone says it's all to do with patience. Yes, it is. But why are we patient? Are we not patient only then to sort of, you know, act and move into action? And I think this is where your guides here are in a position now where they're patient, they're ready, and they're waiting for the up and off, as it were. Yes, follow that heart. And that's the thing that's going to be running through you. That's how your guides are influencing the conversation that is within you. You know, they're sort of saying here is follow that heart. And this is to do with relationships as well. I think this is a case where you know the relationship. You know that you're in that couple, or you know that person that you want to approach. Then I would approach them, you know. I wouldn't hold back. There's nothing to sort of really stop you at the moment. Okay, let's just see what's going on your financial sort of side. Okay, decisions to be made. And to get yourself a bit of a clearer thinking, you're going to have to don't be scared to look at things that a little bit out of your comfort zone in a way. Look at things honestly. It's, you know, the Two of Swords is also about going, you know, this person is walking down a path. That's what she's doing. And as you walk down that path, to really get the fullness of this path that you're on, we're talking about taking off the blindfold so you can see perfectly. And then when you do see perfectly, all of a sudden you'll realize that there's massive opportunities over there that are just behind you or just next to you, and you just got to go ahead and do it. So it's lifting your head out of that rut a little bit within your workspace, because there's going to be coincidences coming down the road to you pretty soon. So you got the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands coming in from the universe. It's all zippy, bubbly, changing of fortunes. This is also about socializing and connecting with other people that are around you. Absolutely amazing for you, really. It's learning things, learning how to enjoy life. Learning how to enjoy life, and learning how to be a little bit sort of, I don't want to say risk taker, but it is it's a calculated risk. That's what it seems to be like. And that's probably why you need to take the blindfold off. Woof! Walking away from complications. And it's something from the outside that's going to provoke this. And this is why you need to take that bandage off. So then you can see the real situation that is arriving for you at the moment with that tower that causes you a bit of headaches. And this is where your guides are trying to avoid those headaches. They're trying to direct you away from that. But in order to do that, you do need to lift the veil from your eyes, basically, to see everything clearly. You know, there we have the Five of Cups, disappointment. I tell you what, a lot of signs have had that, and this sort of connection here. These three cards, thinking about it, there's two signs I know they had them on this side, but it's strange how they're coming up, and I think this has to do with the outside world. I might even pull a few cards on that on Sunday, tomorrow night. Yeah, so Five of Cups. It's a similar sort of situation to this. Normally on the Two of Swords, she's actually, you know, she's sitting on a plinth. She's got the swords that are crossed behind us, and she's got them blindfold. And behind her, there's like this island, right? And that's where, in theory, she should be heading off to. But in order to see that, she's got to take the blindfold off. And this is what you got to do. In order to see those opportunities, those new lands, you got to take your blindfold off. The same thing is being said here. This young person is looking into the past and should be start looking into the future. But if she realizes just behind her, there's a little passage there that takes her away from this sort of disappointment. On the old cards, I don't know if it's in here. Let's see if it's here quickly. On the old cards, you get like the Five of Cups is someone standing there over three spilt cups, and there's two cups behind them, the Two of Cups, which is leading them to a brand new land. There's the Two of Swords on this old cup. This is exactly what I was saying about. And there's the Five of Cups. He's right next to it. It was the next two cards. These two cards were right next to each other. How mad is that? So, you know, and this is what I'm saying here. There's that bridge there that's taking them to a new land. This is the repeating message here. So it's listening and learning about your about those messages coming in within your material world at the moment. And you've got to lift your blindfold up. You've got to have a look around you. Don't just get caught in a rut, basically, Aries. Because that energy is coming through, and that change of fortune is hitting your way. Let's just see what comes out of it. Judgment. Yeah. Judgment. So I'm just going to mix those two cards up because they seem to always want to be together. Judgment. So it's an ascension moment that's coming out of you at the end of the week. This is as you head towards your birthday season. And it's a realization of what you should be doing and what your calling is. And I think your calling comes from your heart, basically, on your relationship side. Let's just see where that calling goes to. Six of Wands. It's going to shine a light. There's a, you know, it's recognition, basically, for being just an absolutely brilliant person, Aries. Let's just see what's going on there with the Queen of Pentacles. And this after this period here, I wouldn't be surprised if the Ten of Pentacles came out as well. After that period there, you're gonna get into a period where you come into your birthday season and things starts moving within your workspace. So that's within your job, your business, and your projects, and you feel a lot more secure about where you're going financially, but also morally in a way as well. Oh, Two of Cups. That's good enough for me. It does go into the idea of just absolute feeling at one with both sides of your life, and this could well be in the following week that swelling of the sacrum chakra as we start connecting with our desires in our life. Absolutely amazing. I do want to see what's going on, if there's any sort of connection between these three cards here for you, Aries. Let's just see how they connect by one another. Okay, so you've been through you've been through a self exploratory sort of dark night of the soul sort of scenario, and you realize what you don't want, and it's sort of like your guides are trying to help you to walk away from situations that are just not being, you know, good for you. And once you've been looking at yourself a lot, this is where you've got to start lifting your head and looking at the world around you. It is going to be a bit of a leap of faith for you, because you're jumping a little bit into the unknown with your new birthday season and putting into place those projects and the plans that you want to go. And the Five of Cups comes up just to sort of, you know, slap us in the face. Move away from those disappointing situations and scenarios in regards to your financial sort of world. There you go, Aries. I will see you on Sunday for that special about the chakras. Thank you very much for watching and supporting this channel. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.